Hello everyone, this is me again, Teacher R, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to discuss to you the simple interest. Or the topic of this video is all about the simple interest. So I am going to explain the concept of simple interest, and we are going to solve problems involving simple interest. But before that, why do we need to study this lesson? Why do we need to study? We keep on asking it in our life, in the field of math, that mathematics has no use in our daily life. To tell you, we need to study the simple interest because this is the basic concept of the business mathematics. And you students will learn to use the concepts of business mathematics to become wiser or to become wise consumers who are able to understand personal financial management. Because someday, somehow, you will become a successful businessman or businesswoman. And not just that, if you have your own work, you are earning money, you must have to utilize your financial matters wisely. And this lesson will help you to become financial literate. Okay, so let's start. Again, this lesson is all about simple interest. What is interest, by the way? When we say interest, this is the amount gained from an investment. Meaning to say, you are investing money. And the amount gained from that investment is what we call as the interest. Halimbawa, in our vernacular, in Tagalog, ito yung sinasabi nating tubo. Example, nagpapahiram ako ng pera, 1,000 pesos sa kaibigan ko. Tapos, I am a wise businessman. Dapat nag-business ako, nagpapatok ako ng pera, yung business ko. Dapat pagbabayaran niya ako, magiging 1,100 na. So meaning, I am earning. I am gaining money. Kasi nagpapahiram ako ng 1,000, binayaran ako ng 1,100. So yung 100 na yun yung tinatawag nating interest. Tubo. Nagpapautang ka ng 1,000 pesos, tapos binayaran ka ng 1,100. From that 1,000, nagiging 1,100. So may tubo kang 100 pesos. So that is what we call as the interest, meaning tubo. Again, interest, it refers to the amount gained on an investment. This time, how are we going to solve the interest? Paano natin mako-compute kung magkano yung tubo ng ating pera na ini-invest natin? And interest is dependent on the principal, rate, and time. Okay? Again, interest is dependent on the principal, rate, and time. Because the formula in solving the simple interest is principal times rate times time. But before we are going to proceed to the actual discussion of how to solve the simple interest, let us know these things first. We have principal. When we say principal, it is the amount being borrowed. Or ito yung perang ini-invest mo. Example, halimbawa ko kanina, nagpapahiram ako ng 1,000. Nagiging 1,100 nung binayad ng nag-utang sa akin. So yung 1,000 na yun yung aking principal. It is the amount lent or borrowed. Kung magkano pinapahiram mo, magkano inutang mo, magkano yung ine-invest, yan yung principal. Tapos yung tubo, yan yung interest. And when we say rate naman, it talks about percent. Example, 2%, 3%, 4%, 5%. Kapag makakita ka ng number na may kasamang percent symbol, ibig sabihin yan, don't be confused class, that is our rate. Again, rate is percent. Kapag makakita ka ng number na may rate, na may percent, I mean percent symbol, that is our rate. And time is what we called as the time being lent. The time in years of the loan. The time in years of that investment. So time, it talks about years. Okay? When we say time, years. Example, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So that is our time. Again, the formula in solving the simple interest is I is equal to principal times rate times time, or I is equal to PRT. So before I am going to proceed to the actual discussion, most students commit mistakes on this part. So allow me to emphasize this part. Rate. When we say rate again, percent. Don't be confused on how to convert percent into decimal, because if we are computing the money or the interest, we need to convert the percent into decimal. And don't complicate things. In converting percent rate into decimal, you simply divide it by 100. Again, divide it by 100. Converting percent into decimal is we have to divide it into 100. Example, 2% is different from 20%. And that is the common mistake that students commit in this lesson. So let's convert 2% into decimal. And let's convert 20% into decimal. For us to assess, for us to verify how to convert decimal, percent into decimal. Okay, 2%. I convert it into decimal. You can use your calculator, class, to make things easier. 2 divided by 100. That is 0.02. When we say 20%, convert in decimal, 20% divided by 100 is 0.2. Did you see the difference? Simple as that. Again, that is the very first you need to emphasize in this lesson. The conversion of percent into decimal. So that is how we are going to convert percent into decimal. Simply divide it by 100. So let's start. Let's proceed to solving problems involving simple interest. Okay, so to understand more the basic concept of simple interest, we have here a problem involving simple interest. A bank offers 1.5% annual simple interest rate for a particular deposit. How much interest will be earned if 1 million pesos is deposited in this savings account for 1 year? So, the formula in solving the interest, we have principal times rate times time. Or, we have the I is equal to P or T. I is equal to principal times rate times time. So we have to identify first the given for us to easily solve this problem. So P, what is our P? So our P is the principal, yung the amount na dinideposit niya or the amount being invested or being borrowed. So our P is 1 million pesos. So 1 million pesos, di ba? Sinabi dyan sa problem, nagde-deposit siya sa kanyang savings account 1 million pesos. So, our R, ano yung R ko? Sabi ko na yung R, sinong kasama ni R? Kung sino yung number na naghahawak sa percent na symbol, that is our rate. So, our rate is 1.5%. But I emphasized it earlier that we have to convert it into decimal. So 1.5%. How to convert 1.5% in decimal? You can use your calculator, class. So 1.5 divided by 100 SD. So our rate here is 0.015. So that is our rate. And our time in year. So anong sabi sa problem? 1 year. So our time is 1 or 1 year. Our P, principal, is 1 million. Our rate is 1.5%. Convert it in decimal, 0.015. And our T is 1 year. So simple as that. Substitute the following given into the formula. So our I is equal to, what is our P? Substitute. 1 million. Our rate is times 0.0.15 and 1. So class, do not complicate things. You can directly use your calculator. So our interest here is I is 1 million times 0.015 times 1 is 15,000 pesos. So this is our interest. I is equal to PRT. So in this problem, the depositor deposits 1 million pesos. So meaning, he or she is investing 1 million pesos. So after 1 year, he is earning 15,000 pesos. So see, did you see the logic? Did you see the essence, the importance of investing? From that money, you are earning 15,000 pesos from 1 million pesos. So yung principal niya ay 1 million pesos, yung tubo niya, yung interest niya ay 15,000 pesos. So our maturity value after 1 year, magkano na yung kanyang total money? Magkano na ang kanyang pera? So, principal plus interest. So the maturity value is equal to, so the maturity value, we have principal plus interest. Principal, yun yung perang ine-invest mo, plus yung tubo. So, yung kanyang maturity value is equal to 1 million 15,000 pesos. So, that is our maturity value. Again, let me emphasize. Interest, tubo. 15,000, ito yung interest niya. Tubo sa kanyang ine-invest na 1 million pesos. 1 million pesos yung kanyang principal na ine-invest. After that, investing 1 million pesos for 1 year with an interest rate of 1.5%, the depositor is earning 15,000 pesos. After that, after 1 year, so meaning the total money of that certain depositor is 1,015,000 pesos. So let me emphasize, class, the formula in solving the maturity value is principal plus interest. So we have other 3 variations of this formula are used to find the PRT. Again, the formula in getting the interest, is equal to principal times rate times time. What if we are looking for the principal? What if we are looking for the rate? And what if we are looking for the time? So we have 3 other variations of that formula. So, the formula for principal, if you are looking for the principal is equal to I over rate times time. Again, the formula of getting the principal is equal to I over rate times time. And if you are looking for the rate is equal to I all over principal times time. So those are the 3 variations of our simple interest formula. And we also have, class, the maturity value, or what we call as the future value. When we say future value, what is the future amount of that money you are investing? It's like, for example, you are investing 1 million pesos in the previous example, and that 1 million pesos from the investment, you are earning 15,000 pesos. So your future value or your maturity value from 1 million pesos, you have now 1,015,000 pesos. That is our future value or the maturity value. And always remember that you must, your money from that investment, from the principal, must be increasing or must increase. Because the formula in getting the maturity value is equal to principal plus interest. If you are investing money, to become it to solve the maturity value or the future value. Principal, yung pinapautang mo, plus yung tubo. So, hindi kasali yung tubo sa iyong principal. And we have two other formulas in computing the maturity value or the future value. They are just the same class. Maturity value is just the same to future value. And always remember that maturity value or future value is equal to principal, yung ine-invest mo, plus yung tubo sa iyong investment. So we have two other formulas of getting the maturity value. M is equal to, or F is equal to, P plus PRT. That is one formula of in getting the future value or the maturity value. So, for us not to be confused, class, this just focus on the future value. So, F is equal to P plus PRT, or other formula is F is equal to P times the quantity of 1 plus RT. So, now let's proceed to the problems involving simple interest. So, let's solve more and more problems to understand more about this lesson, the simple interest. Okay, so we have here another example of problems involving simple interest. Okay. So when invested at an annual interest rate of 7%, the amount earned 11,200 of simple interest in 2.5 years. How much money was originally invested and how much is the future value? Okay, so in this problem, class, we need to assess what is asked in the problem. Is it principal? Is it rate? Or is it time? Okay, so the first thing in the solution, you need to identify first the given. Okay, so what are our given? Try to look at the problem. The problem is asking for how much was originally invested. Again, let us review. When we say principal, it is the amount being invested or the amount borrowed. So meaning to say, as simply as that, we are looking for the principal. And when we say interest, it is the money, the amount earned from the investment or the amount gained from the investment. So our given, our I, when we say interest again, it is the amount earned or the amount gained from an investment. So our interest here is 11,200. That is our interest. And our time, when we say time again, it is time in years. How many years? So we have 2.5 years. And our rate, when we say rate again, sino yung kasama ni rate? Yung percent symbol. So our rate is 7%. And what we are looking for here is we are looking for the principal. Principal and of course the future value. We are looking for the future value and principal. So let's start. What formula, what variation of formula are we going to use? We are going to use the formula for principal. What's the formula of principal again? Let's repeat. Principal is equal to I or interest over rate times time. This is the formula in finding the principal. So, the next step you need to do, simply substitute the given to the equation. So, substitute, what is our interest? Our I here is 11,200. That is our interest. Our rate is 7%. How to convert 7% again? 7%, how to convert percent into decimal? 7 divided by 100. Use your calculator. So we have 0.07. So our rate here, 7% is equal to 0.07. So our rate is 0.07 times the time. Substitute time, 2.5. So again, what we did here in this part, we simply substitute the given to the equation. Our I is 11,200 or our interest. Our time is 2.5 and our rate is 0.07 from 7%. The next, simplify. So 11,000, simplify first the denominator since we have, we need to apply the PEMDAS. So 0.07 times 2.5. What's the result? 0.07 times 2.5. Use your calculator again. The result is 0.175. So therefore, our principal, 11,200 divided by 0.175 is equal to 64,000 pesos. This is our principal. Since we are looking for the money that was originally invested. Okay, class, let me show you the tips. In finding the answer, in finding this answer of this problem, you don't have to round off when you are still in the process of finding the final answer. You have to apply if you are already in the final answer. So, therefore, the money that was originally invested is 64,000. When we 64, it is the principal. Then the interest is 11,200. So let's try to evaluate the problem. So meaning the investor invested 64,000 pesos at it earned an interest of 11,200 after 2.5 years for 7%. So how much money is the future value? Example, you are an investor. You are investing 64,000 pesos. Again, in the law of business mathematics, you must apply your financial matters wisely, meaning you must earn, you must gain. Therefore, after 2.5 years, the maturity value is the principal plus the interest. Yung ine-invest mo plus yung tubo ng ine-invest mo. Therefore, after 2.5 years, your future value is equal to the principal, 64,000, plus the interest, 11,200. Therefore, your future value is how much? 64,000 plus 11,200. So meaning, your future value is equal to 75,200 pesos. So this is your future value after 2.5 years. Do not be confused with the interest, principal, and the future value. Okay, so we have here another example class. Ricky borrowed 25,000 pesos and paid 1,250 pesos interest for 6 months. What was the rate of interest? So very clear in the problem, we are looking for the rate. Again, rate, siya yung nagdadala sa percent symbol. So rate, percent symbol. So first part, you have to find the given. Okay, so for the solution, find the given. So what are our given? So we have the principal. Ano yung definition ni principal? When we say principal, it is the amount borrowed or the amount being invested. So our principal is 25,000. And our interest, very clear in the problem, and paid 1,250 pesos interest. So our interest is 1,250. And our time is, are we going to use 6 months? No. Because in the definition, as I said earlier, when we say time, it refers to the number of years. So 6 months is not in years. We need to convert 6 months into year. So how many months are there in 1 year? So there are 12 months in 1 year. So we have to divide 6 by 12. So this is 0.5 years. So our time now is 0.5, not 6, because in time you need to use the year. And our rate is unknown. Rate yung hinahanap natin. Okay? So let's start. Ano yung formula na gagamitin natin? We need to use the formula that is looking for the rate. So I R is equal to I over principal times time. So next step, you have to substitute the given to the formula. So our R, what is our interest? Our I is 1,250 all over principal 25,000 times our time is 0.5. What we did here in this part is we simply substitute the given to the formula. Our principal is 25,000, our interest is 1,250, and our time is 0.5. So, let's start. 1,250, 25,000 times 0.5. Then use your calculator, class, for you not to be confused and to solve easily the problem. So 25,000 times 0.5 is 12,500. So 12,500 and divide it. So our R, 1,250 divided by 12,500 is 0.1. As I said earlier, rate is in percent form. So when we convert percent into decimal, we have to divide it by 100. In reverse, when we are going to convert decimal into rate or into percent, we have to multiply it by 100. So to get the rate, so R 0.1 times 100 is 10%. Therefore, the rate of interest is 10%. So that is how we are going to solve if you are looking for the rate. Okay, so we have here another example of problem solvings involving simple interest. How long in years will it take for 17,300 pesos to amount to 20,000 pesos at 11.25% simple interest? So in this problem class, the technique is you need to know how to understand the problem, especially in the part of identifying the given. Okay, so how long will it take for 17,300? So meaning, our 17,300 is our principal. And after how long that it will become 20,000 pesos. So meaning, after a certain years, that 17,300 will become 20,000 pesos. How long? So meaning, our 20,000 pesos is our future value. So again, let's identify the given. Our given, the principal is 17,300 pesos. Our future value, why 20,000 is our future value? Diba? Sinasabi sa problem, how long will it take to make 17,300 to amount to 20,000 pesos? So meaning that signifies our future value. So our future value is 20,000 pesos. And our rate is 11.25%. So again, that is still in the percent form. You have to convert it into decimal. In converting decimal, divide it by 100. So do not confuse, use calculator. 11.25% divided by 100, that is equal to 0.1125. And our time is unknown. Diba? How long will it take? So that is our time. How long in years? Years signifies, time signifies years. Okay? So how long in years will it take? So we are looking for the time. And now class, try to look at the problem. We have no interest because the formula in getting the time, what's the formula in getting the time? We have the I over principal times rate. we have the principal, we have the rate, but we don't have the interest in the given. So we need to understand that what is the future value? The formula of future value is equal to principal plus the interest. Principal plus the interest. So meaning to say, we have to use this formula in getting the interest. So our future value here is 20,000 is equal to our principal. Our principal is 20,000. No, our principal is 17,300. Then we don't have the I, or we don't have the given for the interest. So to solve the interest, apply the basic principle in mathematics, convert 17,300 to the left. So from positive, it will become negative. So 20,000 minus 17,300 is equal to I, or interest. Therefore, our interest here is 20,000 minus 17,300, 2,700. So this is our interest. Logically, again, our future value is equal to the principal plus the interest. If you are going to check it, principal natin 17,300 plus the interest 2,700. If you are going to add 17,000 plus 27, or principal plus the interest, it will result to the future value 20,000 pesos. We must learn how to utilize the formulas. So again, our interest is 2,700. So in this interest, we are going to use this value now to the formula in getting the time, since the problem is looking for time. How long in years will it take? So that signifies time. So we have now the interest, we have the principal, and we have the rate. So we can use now the formula for time. So time is equal to, what's our interest? 2,700 over P. Substitute the value of principal. 17,300 times our rate. What is our rate? 0.1125. So this is our time now. So simplify 2,700, simplify the denominator, 17,300 times 0.1125. The result is, do not round it off, class, because you are not still in the final answer. So the result is 1946.25. So divide. So therefore our time, 2,700 divided by 1946.25, the result is 1. So this is now we can use the two decimal places. So 1.387 to round it off, 1.39 years. Therefore, it will take 1.39 years for 17,300 pesos to amount to 20,000 pesos. Therefore, it will take 1.39 years for 17,300 to amount to 20,000 pesos. Okay, class, we are now down to the last example of our lesson about simple interest. We have here problems involving simple interest. Find the future value if Arnel invested 20,000 pesos at an interest rate 4% for 5 years. At an interest rate of 4% for 5 years. Okay, so what is the formula in getting the future value? We have the variations. First, we have to apply the first formula, or depending on what formula you are comfortable to use. So the formula in getting the future value is equal to P times 1 plus RT. Again, the formula in getting the future value in the absence of our interest, we have the P times the quantity of 1 plus RT. So for you not to be confused again, you have to identify the given before solving. So what are the given? So our principal, when we say principal again, is the amount borrowed or the amount invested. So the principal is 20,000 pesos. And the rate, we have 4%. Again, convert it into decimal. 4% divided by 100. 4 divided by 100 is equal to 0.04. And the time is 5 years. Or 5. So, we're done identifying the given. So this time, let's try to, let's solve now. First, let's substitute the given to the formula. So F is equal to, what is our principal? P, 20,000, open parenthesis, or times the quantity of 1 plus RT. What's our R? 0.04 times the time, 5 years. So we need to apply first, we need to use the PEMDAS or to apply the PEMDAS. Again, what we did here in this part, we substitute. Our principal is 20,000, copy 1, copy plus, our rate is 0.04 times the time of 5. So, simplify. 20,000, apply the PEMDAS, 1 plus 0.04 times 5. 0.04 times 5. Use your calculator, class. So we have 0.2. Then continue, apply the PEMDAS. 20,000, 1 plus 0.2, 1.2, then multiply. So, our future value is 20,000 times 1.2. So, the future value after investing 20,000 pesos is 24,000 pesos. So this is now our future value. Again, the future value of the given after investing 20,000 pesos at an interest rate of 4% for 5 years is 24,000 pesos.